A man's daughter is getting engaged. Big moment, right? Except there's one tiny problem. His kids decided his own wife isn't family enough to come to the dinner. So he did the only reasonable thing. He told them all to kick rocks. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Reddit Rewind, the place where family drama gets messier by the minute. And today's story has petty comebacks, tragic backstory, and a twist that's gonna make these kids wish they never opened their mouths. Let's go. Okay, so buckle up, because this one's got layers like an onion, if the onion was also emotionally unstable and everyone in the family had opinions about it. Our guy, let's just call him Dad, because Reddit usernames are useless anyway, was married to a woman we'll call Pearl. Now Dad wants you to know up front. This marriage was not good. Like, stayed together for the kids not good, which, side note, if you're doing that, maybe don't. It rarely works out the way people think it will. Pearl, according to Dad, had a rough relationship with her job. She hated it. And when she had a bad day, which was apparently every day, she'd come home and unload all that frustration onto him. Verbal punching bag activated. On top of that, Pearl had what Dad describes as an addictive personality. Not addiction to one specific thing, addiction to everything. She'd get obsessed with something, throw herself into it 24/7, burn out, lose her job because of it, and repeat the cycle. Multiple jobs lost this way. That's not a hobby, that's a pattern. Eventually, once the kids are all grown adults, not toddlers, not teenagers, full-grown adults with their own lives, Dad finally pulls the plug and files for divorce. Takes about a year and a half to finalize because apparently even paperwork wanted no part of this drama. Now here's where the story takes a genuinely sad turn. After the divorce, Pearl does not handle it well. She spirals into heavy drinking. And about a year and a half after the divorce is finalized, so roughly 3 years after Dad first brought up the D word, Pearl gets into a car accident. Drunk driving. She doesn't survive. Genuinely tragic. No sarcasm here, that's a heavy way for anyone's story to end, and obviously it wrecked the kids. They were already struggling with the divorce, and now their mom is just gone. Dad, to his credit, offers to pay for therapy, for counseling, anything to help them process it. The kids? They refuse. Instead, they decide there's a much simpler explanation for all of this. It's Dad's fault. Not the addictive behavior. Not the alcohol. Not the drunk driving. Dad. And look, grief makes people do weird things with blame. It's not always logical. But here's where it stops being sad and starts being a whole situation. Dad starts dating again. Kids do not love that. Then Dad falls for someone. And get this, he was already dating her before Pearl passed away, which, timeline-wise, is important later, so keep that in your back pocket. About 2.5 years after Pearl's death, Dad marries this woman. Let's call her wife number 2, or as the kids apparently see her, intruder woman, destroyer of family legacy. Now, according to Dad, wife number 2 has done nothing wrong. Not one thing. She didn't break up the marriage. That ship had sailed years before she even showed up. She wasn't around for the drinking, the accident, any of it. Her only crime, as far as we can tell, is existing near this family in a happy, stable way. And for that, the kids treat her like she personally keyed all their cars. Cold, distant, fake polite at best, straight up rude at worst. Dad's talked to them about it multiple times. Be civil at least to her face. And technically they comply. Emphasis on technically. Fast forward about a year and a half after the wedding, so we're deep into the timeline now, like 7 years since the original divorce, 4 years since Pearl passed, and Dad's daughter gets engaged. Exciting. Time for an engagement dinner. Guess who's not invited? Yep. Wife number 2. Dad asks his daughter directly, why isn't she invited? And the daughter drops this gem. It's family only, and she's not family. And Dad, bless him, does not sit quietly with that. He tells his daughter, word for word basically, my wife isn't going anywhere. If she's not welcome, then I'm not coming either. Cue instant chaos. Daughter is furious. And here's the kicker, it's not just her. The other kids chime in too, backing her up, all singing the same tune. She's not family, Dad. That's just how we feel. Now, if you think Dad just folded and accepted defeat, oh, you have not met this man yet. What he says next completely flips the whole argument on its head. Stick around, because this is the part everyone's talking about in the comments. So Dad, instead of arguing in circles, decides to test their logic. He asks the kids something very simple. So if marriage doesn't automatically make someone family, does that mean I don't have to invite your significant others to things either? Silence. Because here's the thing, these are the same kids who've brought boyfriends and girlfriends to holidays, birthdays, family functions, for years. Using the exact same "they're basically family now" logic, they just refuse to extend to their own father's wife. And their response? That's different. Which, respectfully, is the universal signal for, I know I just got cooked and I have no comeback. It's the verbal equivalent of tripping over nothing in public and going, I meant to do that. Dad didn't budge. He held the line, no wife, no dad at the dinner. And the internet, unsurprisingly, was fully on his side. Because let's be real, this isn't actually about family status. This is about grief that never got processed, blame that got aimed at the wrong person for years, and kids who found it easier to be cruel to an innocent woman than to sit with the reality that their mom's choices played a role in what happened to her. Dad wasn't the villain here. He offered therapy. He gave space. He stayed civil for years while his kids treated his wife like she committed a felony just by saying hello. The only thing he refused to do was abandon the person who actually stuck around and did nothing wrong. So, Reddit Rewind fam, I want to know, AITA or NTA? Drop your verdict in the comments below, and let me know if you would have held the line like Dad did. If you're new here, hit that follow button, because we've got way more chaotic family drama coming your way. See you in the next one.